Hello everyone, I am DK ARUN KUMARAN from 3rd BSAT B section. Now I am going to talk about namespaces and scopes in Python. Let's get into the topic. What are the contents in the topics are introduction, namespaces in Python, namespaces and its examples, scopes and its examples. Namespaces and scopes in Python. Let us see about the introduction of namespaces and scopes in Python. In this class, we will cover what is Python namespace and why it is needed. We also talk about the scope in Python and how namespaces can be used to implement it. The concept of namespaces is not limited to particular programming language like C, C++, Java, and also where it works as means to distinguish between different sections of program. The body of the section may consist of a method, a function, or all methods of a class. So a namespace is a particular approach to define the scope, and it helps to avoid name conflicts. While in Python, the namespace is also a fundamental idea to structure and organize the code, especially more useful in large projects. However, it could be a bit difficult concept to grasp if you are new to programming. Hence, we try to make namespaces just a little easier to understand. This flowchart, we will see about the Python namespace, scope, and scope resolution. The namespaces are three types: built-in, global, and local. Local means local, global, you know. Built-in means the innermost is called as built-in. Then scope are three types: function, module, and outermost. What are the names in Python? Before getting onto namespaces, first let us understand what Python means by a name. A name in Python is just a way to access a variable like any other languages. However, Python is more flexible when it's come to variable declaration. You can declare a variable by just assigning a name to it. You can use names to reference values like the below diagram. You can even assign a name to a function. You can also assign a name and then you reuse it. Check below example. It is alright for a name to point different values. Like we will define a function, print like it is a function, and test it. Test the values. And here is the output as follows. Let's see about the what are namespaces in Python. A namespace is a simple system to control the names in a program. It ensures that names are unique and won't lead to any conflict. Also add to your knowledge that Python implements namespace in the form of dictionaries. It maintains a name to object mapping where names act as key and the object as values. Multiple namespaces may have some same name but point to a different variable. Check out a few examples as given below. The namespaces are three types: local, global, and built-in. Local namespace. This namespace covers the local names inside a function. Python creates this namespace for every function called in a program. It remains active until the function returns. Global namespace. This namespace covers the names from various imported modules used in a project. Python creates this namespace for every module included in your program. It's all lasts until the program ends. Built-in namespace. This namespace covers the built-in functions and built-in exception names. Python creates it as the interpreter starts and it keeps it until you exit. Let's see about scope in Python. Namespaces make your programs immune from names conflicts. However, it does not give us a free right to use a variable name where anywhere we want. Python restricts names to be bound by specific rules known as scope. The scope determines the parts of program where you could see that name without any prefix. Python outlines different scopes for local functions, modules, and built-ins. Check out from the below list. A local scope, also known as the innermost scope, holds the list of all names available in current function. A scope for all enclosing functions. It finds a name from the nearest enclosing scope and goes outwards. The module level scope, it's take care of all global names from the current module. The outermost scope, which manages the list of all built-in names, it it is the last place to search for a name that you seated in a program. Scope resolution in Python and its examples. Scope resolution for given name begins from the innermost function and then goes to higher and higher until the program finds a related object. If the search ends without any outcome, then the program throws a name error exception. Let us know some examples what you run inside any Python idle or with idle. These are the examples and the output as follows. Thank you everyone.